Hello everybody, welcome back again for another video on 14 years later. I am Jeffrey. Before I begin with the topic of the video, I want to show you, this is my bedroom, so I want to show you, you can't see it, it's sort of like too far away I think, but that little it's not a poster, it's like wood, it's like a poster on wood, like attached to the wood. It was my cousin's, or not, it was my cousin. This was my cousin's overseas, and when I went to visit him, I told him I really liked the image on the image. It's by it's called American Girl in Italy, 1951, by Ruth Orkin, I guess, is the photographer. And I think it's, my cousin showed me later, it's one part of two, I think, photographs where it's like an American girl in Italy, and like the whole street of men are looking at her, and I guess like almost or sort of catcalling her. And there's a guy, you can look this up. Okay, let me move it closer so you can see a little bit better. Can you see this a little better? Okay, I don't want to crawl on my bed to show you all, but yeah, so anyways, there's a guy on like a scooter or like a moped or something like that. And this guy in the second photograph, I believe, which my cousin showed me like way after, he's on the scooter with the American girl. So I guess he gets the girl of like all those guys, or like of anyone. And I really love this. And on the back, my cousin wrote in a language I can't read because I can only understand, I can only read, I'm only literate in the English alphabet, just about. But it was one of the things he gave me for my birthday. So on the day I was born, many years after, he gave me this along with some like cologne and different things when I was staying at his apartment. And also he had another like of these like poster things on wood. I don't know what you even call them. I need to look things up before I make videos. But the other one was I guess one of the towers that were being made, which were being made in the United States. I think it's a really famous photograph, and the like it's like several white guys, or like I think more than two white guys sitting on one of the beams, like really high above New York. I think it's New York. I would imagine it's New York or Chicago, but I think New York. And they're sitting on there and having their lunch. And I think I even asked him to give me the other like poster thing he had as well, and he told me no. It was like too much. I was asking too much. But I really love this photograph. And yeah, so I'm not like advocating like catcalling or anything like this towards women, but I just, it cheers me up at different instances in life when I look at the photograph. I mean, at the like poster thing. So anyways, I wanted to talk about, why am I breathing so hard? I wanted to talk about in this video what I think is my unique background with the body and with sports. And in terms of like where I've lived and what I've encountered, because I'm not saying I'm the only person who has encountered these sort of things, though I think I possibly have in my background some of the like top level on earth like institutions, or like cities or states, or like, you know, provinces, whatever, excuse me, where sports and athletics and like bodybuilding and different things have been practiced while I was alive. And I just wanted to share that. I wanted to make another video 17. And yeah, so I'll begin. The first sport, I'll try to make it a little quicker, I hope, than usual where I speak so much. Though, okay, the first like type of you know, relating to the body in like a physical way, or like building the body, or like sport or whatever, was actually a martial art when I was, you know, a really young child, karate, I went to karate for like a really short amount of time, a really short number of instances. I went to karate is what I mean, and karate class. And I really just wanted to play and have fun with my friends, I think, is what my father and mother explained to me. And I didn't really take it too seriously. And I'm actually really glad because, for like religious reasons, I need to look up book of Luke, more, the gospel according to Luke, I believe, because I have book of Matthew memorized more in my mind. I believe Jesus Christ explained, sorry, I'm pointing to where my books are, where I have 2 copies of the Holy Bible in the closet, but where Jesus Christ explained those who are like meek. It says meek in one of the versions I have. I believe it's gentle. No, it says gentle. It doesn't say meek. Those who are gentle shall inherit the earth. So I took that to heart. It wasn't early in my life. It was like way later in life when I think I was in my like late 20s or like in my 30s already, when I had slowly developed the mind for different things, and I began to research things that were more relevant to me. It took like a really long time. When I was young, I did not have the mind for too many things, just school basic things. Anyways, so I started out with karate, didn't really do much with it, with karate. And then my parents, my father and my mother, I think my mother encouraged my father to put me into basketball because I had mentioned basketball. So at like, I think, I don't know, like under 8 years old, possibly, I started playing basketball. I never understood, and I'm not joking, I never understood until like my 30s, different players of basketball, different teams, those individuals want to win and they want you to score the ball. I literally like understood the concept, just being totally honest. I understood the concept is like, how fast can I run while dribbling the ball and like dribbling the ball well, and if I can start dunking the basketball. I no lie, I didn't understand like is his name Stephen Curry, like shooting the ball and actually making the ball go in the net is like way more valuable to almost like everybody. Like all won't have like believed me. If I would have told them it sounds unbelievable. I did not understand this concept until like possibly even like age 28, 29, when I got out of the last law school I went to, which I'll mention more about. Anyways, so basketball never really did well. I think I got like onto a sophomore team in the final high school I went to, the high school I graduated from. A little bit into the junior varsity thing, didn't like my experience. I'll just leave it at this. Didn't like the experience, didn't want to be involved with basketball. I was always like a crybaby about basketball. I hate to the day how like individuals practice basketball, which is why I decided to get into a little bit into another sport, which I'll mention later, which is boxing, which I have very little experience with also. But I still, if it wasn't for the religious aspect, I still find boxing way more valuable and useful and desirable in my life personally than basketball. Though if I could go back and shoot like 1,000 shots while trying to like use my mind and get better, 1,000 shots like a day or every 2 days, but hopefully like every day for like 4,000 different instances of such, and get to like 4 million shots. And I don't know, I would imagine like individuals like Stephen Curry have shot more than like 4 million, but I'm not sure. So I guess like NBA coaches and NBA players would easily answer this question or this conversation. Though if I could, I would go back and do that in addition to learning how to dribble well. And I know how to like jump well because of like a couple of individuals who told me what to do, even though I can't jump right now. I can't jump at the moment. They just, in case you're wondering, it's single leg calf raises until failure, like non-stop until you can, like, you have to ice your calves, is the same explanation I got from 2 different individuals who I'm not sure if they knew each other when they told me this. But both of them were like really good jumpers as far as basketball goes. I'm not talking athletics though. Anyways, so there was basketball at until like around junior varsity, junior year of high school. And then in senior year, I didn't want to continue with basketball anymore, pretty much. Even though I played like a little bit in like the school gym at like UCLA, at the rec center. But senior year, I played some rugby. Also didn't understand sports. I just never, until like basically my like 30s, understood the concept of sports. Like I am actually a retard. No joke. I'm not like making fun of humans with like intellectual deficiencies or anything of the sort. I am, in a sense, like what I just mentioned, because I had like really slow, beyond normal deficiency in development, as far as understanding what like a sport is. Like the players want to win, and they want to score, and they want like good defense. It's not just like practicing athletics within a with like a ball, basically. So anyways, yeah, today was the World Cup final, which I watched some of. I fell asleep for most of the game, most of the final. But yeah, I guess luckily Argentina lost. Lionel Messi lost, even though I should be cheering for Lionel Messi in Argentina, though Spain won. And anyways, so those were the sports by the time I got out of high school, which I had played. But I'm from, like, not from, I shouldn't say from. I was born in America, and I was born in location. I lived in a location, not born in locations. I lived in a location where American football is like really famous. Like, I still cannot play soccer as much as a child can play soccer in many cases, of like children who are like really good. Like I'm sure I couldn't play soccer as well as Lionel Messi by the time he was like a 4-year-old. But American football I also never played, but I was like somewhat interested, but never played. But I was born where in a state where American football is like really famous within the United States. Anyways, so yeah, so even though I didn't play, I was growing up and I was aging around individuals who had, I'm sure, like really great backgrounds with football, with American football. So you know, I was in contact with them to varying extents, maybe just like verbally, but I did learn a lot, which I think not everyone on earth, despite what individuals may think, because football isn't wrestling, it isn't boxing, and it isn't even rugby. You know, American football, it's like a different sport. But I learned a lot in how they communicate, and I think it had a subconscious effect on me, which came together like way later, which I'll get to, but like in my like 30s. So anyways, so yeah, like really big powerhouse of football is where I was born, in terms of the state in the United States of America. And by high school though, I had only had experience with a little bit with karate when I was like a child. And basketball, I never understood like I could now get better, like as like a really obese guy in his like late 30s. I could get way better at basketball should I choose to do so than when I was young. And basketball in the USA, if you aren't familiar, is very competitive. It's like no joke as far as the United States, because there are individuals putting a lot of, like, you could call it repetitions. They're shooting the ball a lot, they're dribbling the ball a lot, they're working on their conditioning, they're working on like dunking, they're working on passing, like so many different aspects at so high of a level of like repetitions. And they're putting their mind into it for so much of their life that they get like really, really good. And finding a like decent basketball player and a lot of people think it's just like black people or like black guys or black women, which are good at basketball. No. In the United States, there are a lot of good basketball players. And I say this because I played like a tiny amount of basketball when I was on a trip to Europe, and it's not the same. And I know they're getting like European players more and more into the NBA, though I guess the level of I don't know. I didn't go anywhere where the level of competition was really high, but it's very different than in the United States. So, but I didn't do well, and I didn't understand it. It was a mind problem. It wasn't like a body problem. And like as far as like dunking, I think like on a 9'10" rim, so like two inches short of like a 10-foot rim, I think I've dunked like a total of like under four or like four times with like two hands, something like that, without like an alley-oop or anything like that. And I think I did once dunk on a 10-foot rim, but like definitely under 10 instances have I dunked, and those were like the highest jumps I remember, and they weren't in a game at all. They were just like repeatedly me like trying and doing like squat jumps and stuff like that, stuff like this. So yeah, rugby, I also didn't get like very good. I guess I was decent, you could say, or like good, for like the limited amount I had gotten into it. But I also didn't understand to like a large extent. You're trying to score. You're not just trying to run with the ball and like have fun. And it's so fun because rugby was then fun for me. The next time I tried rugby after I had graduated from college, like a couple of years after, did not enjoy rugby too much. But that was because of the next way that I trained my body, which I learned about while I was like, I think a junior at UCLA, which was bodybuilding. Yes. Okay. It doesn't look like it, but bodybuilding is to me one of the most fun and important ways that an individual can work on their body, and I think it's because to me, bodybuilding allows. I don't want to get into something that may like offend some individuals who may feel a certain way or like are liberal about certain things, but I think bodybuilding, despite what some may say, has for many millennia at the very least, if not since humans have like been in existence, and to me that would be since Adam and Eve, but bodybuilding is a big proponent in human like heterosexuality and relationships, and I should take my own advice and like lose body fat, like cut body fat and like bulk up some muscle at the least. But I really feel bodybuilding is great for this aspect, like heterosexuality and relationships, because in my experience, if you're cutting fat and building muscle and working on your proportions and becoming more aesthetic, which those things mean like different things if you really get into the differences. But like, because like aesthetic doesn't mean the same thing as cutting fat, and building muscle doesn't mean the same thing as aesthetic or cutting fat. So these are like different things. But so I think bodybuilding is like there's like a term for this now. Like I can't even speak English properly. I can't even recall English. But with bodybuilding, there's a like it's like a level playing field. That's not what I want to say, but it's like a level playing field, because if you really put in the work and you really enjoy what you're doing, which is what happened with me, though I didn't go like too far with the bodybuilding. So I mean, I'm still working on bodybuilding, let's say, but bodybuilding, like it levels the playing field. It allows you to be viewed, I think, as an individual. Especially if you're a male. I don't know too much about how women are treated within like developing their body using bodybuilding specifically, like with like a barbell is what I mean, bodybuilding. But it levels the playing field. So like race is put aside once you start developing your body a lot. Your socioeconomic situation is put aside. Your education is to an extent put aside. These are all to an extent, but just to give you like 3 different examples, and it's like something you do and no one can do it for you, and it's learnable. It's not something that like, there is a genetic component to bodybuilding, but all won't on earth, unless you have some severe like physical like handicap or trouble or like deficiency. All won't be able to not improve. And even humans who have like different troubles with their body are capable to improve with bodybuilding. So it takes learning, it takes perseverance, and it takes like actually doing the process. But it was really rewarding when I did it. And what happened was my bodybuilding fell apart, though eventually I'm gonna make it go forward a lot more, because it should have gone forward when I graduated from UCLA, and I was doing the standard, excuse me. So I was doing the standard, I've been eating too much, I know, gross, with my burps. But I was doing the standard, 16 sets, 4 different exercises, and I was doing incorrectly 7 days a week with the bodybuilding. But, pretty standard, like, Monday is chest day sort of thing. And I was doing 7 days because like one day was supposed to be like abs and obliques, like abdominals and like obliques. And one day was supposed to be just biceps, and one day was just triceps. So I was sort of doing like 4 days with like a little bit of like a rest, though not enough, in my opinion. So anyways, but I did develop pretty decently. I got down to a body weight of like 196, 197, where my abs were showing like a little bit. I don't know. I have to look at I deleted the picture that I had, and I'd have to look at the picture. But I had a body which was like noticeable to women overall, I would say. Like my like muscles, or like my like the structure of my body. And I had hair, so different scenario. But I was getting attention in like different places. I probably mentioned this in a different video. But anyways, so I went to New York after I graduated, and I was in Brooklyn, and I was doing the bodybuilding thing. I was continuing with it. And then an individual walked in, he told me about calisthenics, and he told me to try some things. And then like calisthenics and calisthenics ruined my my life for like a while, where you're probably thinking, if you understand what calisthenics are, or you have like a background with calisthenics, or you like enjoy the concept of calisthenics, you're like, no, you ruined your own life, or you have your own problem. Yes, you're correct. Calisthenics is amazing. Gymnastics is amazing. They're different, but are like amazing. I didn't understand how to, like, you could say like progressive overload. I didn't understand how you build up the repetitions, build up the strength, and build up the capability. When I was introduced to calisthenics, I didn't even know how you actually like cut and bulk properly in bodybuilding. I just knew you just stay in a caloric deficit and try to eat healthier and do your 16 sets every day, and you wear clothes that fit you a lot better. That's like what I knew. So I was joking, like hyperbole, with the calisthenics. Calisthenics is great. I think calisthenics, it to me can be, and sort of is, a type of bodybuilding also. And the barbell and calisthenics, I assume I've seen some individuals like on like YouTube or something, or like maybe in like person, who do both. And I think if what I'm thinking is correct, those individuals have like the best bodies, really. If it's like natural body like appearance, they have like really good bodies. So there was this calisthenics. I didn't understand, you have to like, for me, not for everyone, but for me, you have to like write down how many repetitions you're doing. And then you have to to build strength, for instance, don't go to failure. You have to do like few repetitions and consistently build up the repetitions. Like every week or so, you're adding like a repetition, and within like 52 weeks, like a year, you've added like 50 repetitions or so. to a workout, not in a row, but to a workout, or possibly like many in a row. Anyways, so I didn't have the mind still. And I started the calisthenics, and then I went overseas and I saw my family for the first instance as an adult. Not my family, my relatives, my extended like relative, like the individuals related to my parents, to my father and mother. So I met them. I started getting less strict, like way less strict on my diet. And I also started with the calisthenics, and I wasn't making progress. And my body started looking like a little less good, like over and over. And then like we get into the point where it gets to like 14 years later, shortly after this. And it was like in my mid-20s, and I did not really build the body too much, except for the next thing which I tried. And the next thing I tried was boxing. Okay. I've never really done wrestling. I don't know too much, if any. It's like wrestling is like my soccer, except I am possibly a little more capable in the mind to understand wrestling than soccer, because I think I saw like Dana White of the UFC had said like soccer is for like 2-year-olds or something. Soccer is like really high skill level. Wrestling, or like choking someone or getting out of being choked, it's like you use your mind, and there is a lot to learn. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying that I understand wrestling whatsoever, but it's a little more natural if you're like capable to stop an individual's aggression, and continue to like not be choked, like in a headlock or whatever, by using like your chin or whatever. I mean, I've like had someone try to choke me before. So, anyways, but boxing, I was getting into fist fights, and I had seen my father be attacked in like a fist fight scenario, and individuals were like helping. We're Middle Eastern, so individuals were helping the other person, instead of me and my father. And boxing seemed like a good thing for many reasons. And I had been punched, inside of like a basketball scenario. I had been punched later on, like on a street scenario. And so I was like, okay, let me learn boxing. I had tried Muay Thai once, but I didn't get too far with the Muay Thai. I didn't really like it like too much. So I tried a little bit of boxing. I won't say his name. I feel like I'm having deja vu. I feel like I've said this, but in like a different video. But actually, a world heavyweight boxing champion. I've been I've done like a very short amount of saying like hello to, and did like I think he held the mitts for me once. And I've tried in my like home state some boxing. So I got to the level, I've done like some basic sparring, but I'll stop like really early on. And I'm glad it's like the religious aspect, which I realized from like, sitting and reading and learning, which made me stop also. But, so I had, to be completely honest, I had the mind to understand I'm going to do something that causes me to be afraid, and still to do it despite that, despite this. And I got to like what I think is the second psychological stage of boxing, which is which I stopped at, and I won't continue with boxing. But the second stage I got to was you got to go forward. There's like, you're gonna get punched, you're gonna get hurt. It's not like a good feeling. I've heard humans say it's like a good feeling, but no, you're not supposed to me, you're not supposed to get punched. You're supposed to be able to get out of the way, or punch earlier, or punch like so many instances, or like punch so hard, or whatever it is, to prevent you from getting punched. And I'm gonna give an excuse, but my excuse is this. I in no way want to continue boxing unless I'm gonna have been undefeated, and I'm like older anyways. So I have my religious excuse, which is the real reason, but also I refuse to unless I'm going to be undefeated at an amateur whatever level. And yeah, a lot of difficulty. I don't even want to in sparring feel I have lost, which I have. Anyways, so it's not boxing, to be honest, isn't doesn't come to me super like in a sense of like being a natural, though I would say from my very limited experience, I tend to learn very fast, but I also get like afraid in the conflict. And if I would really get ready and just continuously move forward, there's like a problem. Someone would probably shoot me. I'll be honest. It wouldn't have looked good at this stage in history because they're genociding Middle Eastern humans, starting with like the Armenian genocide, the Jews, now, Palestine. It's gonna possibly soon be Iran, also Syrians, Iraqi individuals, or like groups. And it's like, no, it's their fault. No. As a planet, I'm just being honest, as a planet, you are, as humans, you are now genociding the Middle Eastern for like over a century, and it's possibly going to turn into like a form of slavery. But so with the boxing thing, not interested, because a lot of humans want to set up, in my experience, they want to set up what looks like a win and embarrass and make the person like ashamed. And it's not fair. You're already like punching them. Just let whoever's better win. So we're not this century, like in the future. Anyways, but not from like my genome, hopefully. So after boxing, I was like, okay, it took a while, but so I went to like law schools, 3 different law schools in 5 different academic years. The first law school, 1 academic year, a single academic year. The second 2 each 2 years, 2 academic years. And I wasn't, for various reasons. I had like some trouble, which I don't want to like get into details about, but I wasn't able to build up the ability to like read and like focus. And I, by the end of the 3rd law school, though, I will mention, I think I mentioned the law schools, and possibly I did again, but I deleted one of the videos where I talked about which law schools I went to. But the 3rd law school I went to, sorry, I have a cough, was USC. Okay, so I don't know if this is like subconscious or what it is, but so my bachelor's degree was at UCLA. The 3rd law school I went to was at USC. And I'm from like I was born in a very strong football state, American football. And I had been introduced to calisthenics after my bachelor's degree as an adult. And now, like by the end of going to USC for like a short amount of time, so I had gone to 2 of the universities in USC and UCLA, which apparently, I guess, according to Google, are among the like best performing and like highest universities in the world, or like among the highest in the world at producing like Olympians and different athletes. So or like different sportsmen. So I had been in, I had met a world heavyweight champion in boxing. And I had been to the like best, among the best, sorry, one second. Okay, me being paranoid. Anyways, so I had been to, it's like everything was pointing to, sorry, let me let me get my train of thought going. Okay, everything was pointing to me doing something in like athletics. I don't like sports to the day like too much. I don't want to like play with the ball, or I don't want to compete with like touching with like boxing or whatever. But I like athletics, I like bodybuilding, I like calisthenics, I like the various strongman sort of things, just developing the body. And I felt like when I stopped going to USC in the final instance, when I was there, I felt like it was best that that humans see someone who is like Middle Eastern background or like white skin run the 100 meter, like use athletics properly and use the body properly to perform very well at athletics in short distance events at running. And I don't mean the hurdles, but let's just say like the 100 meters, the 200 meters, like basically under 400 meters. So I felt like I wanted to try this, and the reason was I got punched in the head when I was around USC, like in the temple, like really hard I was sucker punched on the street, and I felt like almost one of my teeth had almost chipped. Freaked me out, punched the guy back a couple of times, but whatever. So happens. Like I guess I'm someone who, like, even though I've been to like very high level universities for like law school, I'm someone who needs to be punched, in addition to the genocide which is happening. And I'm sorry, there's a reason I made a YouTube. I do not accept your opinion about what is happening and what has been happening. You are genociders if you don't agree with what I'm saying. So there were like 6 million Jews who are Middle Eastern individuals, ancestrally, who were killed within like a very short amount of time. There was the Armenian genocide. 1 million humans apparently were killed or like died as a result of war in Iraq. Syria was leveled to the ground. I don't know how like those like Syrian, they were called earlier, I think, rebels. I don't know how they did this without the help of like billions of dollars and assistance militarily of like the West. And now it's happening in Iran. So it's like, why didn't this happen to, which is what they're trying to do at the moment. Why didn't this happen to Saudi Arabia and Pakistan? Okay, it was like Saudi Arabians and Pakistani who flew the airplanes into the towers in 9/11, though you don't want to get like entangled with like Mecca possibly being attacked, and you don't want to, or like Medina, and you don't want to get entangled with like South Asia being attacked in terms of Pakistan. Let's be honest, let's be like real, let's be human. So anyways, I wanted to do the athletics thing, and then like gun violence started towards me. Different individuals, like a black guy in like a group, when I was trying to run, had aimed a gun at me and shot at me. An Armenian guy had aimed a gun and shot at me at night. The black guy in the daytime. An Armenian guy who I know his name had shot at me at night when I was going to a Walgreens in a parking lot from like a bank, from like at like a distance. I've contacted the police. I've told them. I was even in some like legal trouble when I had some issues, and I wasn't being properly like assisted. Like I've even explained like to like a sheriff, you need to do something. The sheriff said no. Essentially, this wasn't like an exact quote, but so getting back to the body. So I felt like, and I still feel like, and I believe I am correct, though I'm gonna have to like eventually move to Europe, because so the American populations, the American individuals, humans here, they are related to individuals who haven't, in all fairness, like homicided me. So I haven't been killed. I've been like attacked, I've been assaulted, whatever, battered. But they haven't killed me, and they were, in my religious belief, they were on the side of limiting the Holocaust as much as possible, and saving the Jews as much as they could. It was like the Englishman, essentially, who is allowing Israel to be of use to the Jews. Anyways, but I don't want to get into too much details about that. But Europe seems to be more on the side of what I'm interested in. So I had to make this video. But anyways, so yeah, there was like the gun violence. Then my mother, got cancer. And before that, I had developed the strength thing. I had gained a lot of weight. And I got to, like I had said, 365 pounds for like 4 repetitions when I was alone, touching my chest, without like any trouble, without needing a spotter. And that was that. But Let me see if I'm missing anything. So yeah, this was my background with like sports, physical things, building the body, athletics, and I just wanted to explain this because I felt like it was really relevant. Because look, if there's no one in the Middle East, if all won't have been able to physically run like a 9.8 second 100 meters, no matter how much you train them at the highest level, I think you're like wrong. You're telling me I can't train an Aboriginal person or like an Armenian person to because you know they were both victims of like an extreme genocide is why I bring this up. But I can't train them to, not that I would, to read a book. You know, okay, I'm not saying that an individual is like capable within like 4,000 hours to be amazing at like the 100 meters. Okay. But with 4,000 hours, they should be able to get better. You know, they should improve. Like, I'm not saying an individual who has sustained severe psychological trauma for many generations because of like a genocide, that they'll be able to grasp what's in a book or use what's in a book to do what like Elon Musk does. Just to pick the name of a trillionaire, or like a trillionaire, I'll say that. But you know, I think humans can be taught to read, and I believe like humans can be taught to use athletics or like a barbell. It has to be explained like with a barbell because it's like less good for sports. So the entrenched individuals who want to work as like the Nazis to like prove that they are the best, they'll allow you to use a barbell because they can't really take it away as much because like women will like stop that process. But like with athletics, like building speed, there's like a problem if like, I don't know, like let's say like 33 different like Middle Eastern individuals from like different nations are running like under a 9.9 second 100 meters at like a young age, and if they also are capable to play sports. Because I mean, what do you want me to say? They're not going to be like able to play in like the NFL, or they can't be trained because it's like, no, they're like skinny, or like, no, it's like a genome thing or genetic thing. If it's a genetic thing that one human can like run well by using like a training technique, then it's a genetic thing why some humans are capable to like read well and use like reading and writing to make more like wealth theirs, which I don't agree with. There is to like some extent, but no. It's not as uneven as it seems. It's like a time thing. It's how much time humans are putting into these things. So anyways, this isn't a conspiracy theory. This is fact. And I don't think it's just my opinion, but I'll stick with my opinion at the moment. And it's because when you don't give humans what they feel in their heart, it's easier to genocide. Because if you have like no evidence of like, wow, there was like this really great like Syrian like running back or something in the NFL, or there was this like really great basketball player from like Lebanon, and he could like dunk from like the free throw line. Dunking from the free throw line is not like impossible when you use like physics, depending on the person's height, the individual's height, and like how much they train, how much time. Like if you're gonna tell me that humans who like lie down on a bed or sit in a chair primarily throughout the day are going to develop force in their body relative to gravity at the very least, as much as someone who's on their feet 20 hours a day, or like let's say 16, let's be fair about it, like 2 8-hour shifts. How is this even possible that someone who stands like 2 hours or 3 hours a day is, unless they're like the best, like I feel like I sound like Borat, but the best like genome ever for like running and jumping, standing 2 or 3 hours a day is like a person standing 16 hours. It's like very simple. It's like a very simple thing, but humans don't want to do it because they want to justify the wars and the genocides and the ethnic cleansing of the Middle Eastern humans. Because like, look, like women aren't going to enjoy when they don't have as like a fact. Okay, like this guy was like, sorry. This guy is like someone I can point to who has run like a 9.79 seconds, 100 meters. When they don't have this and it's not a fact, it's not a fact, right? It's not factually something I can argue, right? So it's very, very easy how to produce these things, but I wanted to bring up my background with sports to explain that when I was younger, I had brought this up and I was laughed at, and then it turned into like genocide, like worse and worse and worse and worse. And it's getting like really bad because like, it's like, okay, this is like the body in sports or whatever. But now you're saying the Sunni, or like supposed Sunni, they weren't real Muslims in my opinion, but the supposed Sunni terrorists who flew into the towers in 9/11 were linked to the Shia of Iran when they were enemies. You know, there was the Protestant Catholic schism. There were like issues between different Christian groups, which led to like mass killings and homicide. There's been issues with the Jews, with Christians, and with Muslims. So you're making things out to be like a words argument, and I keep going forward with this, and I'm gonna continue. But look, as of like about 6 years ago, though, like I'll say today, tonight, this will not continue. Okay, you will accept that you need to develop Middle Eastern humans so women can see in athletics, so women can see, okay, white skin and Middle Eastern are capable to physically do a certain thing, like a barbell press, except with the running aspect of it. So instead of weight, it's time. This has to be viewed and then like heard, I guess, like all the senses, like tasted or whatever joke. But so this genocide needs to stop, okay? And that's coming from me. And I've mentioned, I've been to 3 law schools. I'm a summa cum laude graduate of UCLA. And my background, and I've been to the Middle East. I've been to where my parents are from. I've been to like a very strong country in terms of certain like, let's call them sports. But so, and it's not Turkey, which I mentioned in a different video. So yeah, and I've been to Europe many, many different instances. Now I've been to close to where Manny Pacquiao was born in the Philippines. So this is gonna stop, and it's gonna be very easy how this is handled. But I just wanted to bring this up because from someone who like is very aware, and I'm not gonna have like a son and train my son to do this sort of thing. It's gonna be like now and very soon, and then afterward, you may continue to genocide and see what the result is. Anyways, have a great night, and just consider this like the propaganda wing of like a holy concern about ending evil. Thank you very much. Peace. Bye-bye.